Coming up on Naperville News 17, Naperville's Rib Fest is looking for a new home. A new brew made from a piece of Naperville's history, and a local lady gets a Twitter shout out from the Queen of Country. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Pierce. Thanks for joining us for this week's Naperville News. Rib Fest has been held in Naperville for 31 years, but it will have to change locations in 2020. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski tells us why.
Rib Fest has been tied to Naperville since 1988, when the first festival took place on Rotary Hill. The Exchange Club of Naperville moved the event to Knock Park the next year, giving it space to grow into the massive celebration we know today. But 2019 could be the last year Naperville hosts the massive festival.
Some changes that have been required. The Park District has made us aware that there are going to be some construction projects that would preclude us from being at this site for 2020 or for subsequent years.
The Park District is redeveloping Knock Park to add more sports facilities, forcing the Exchange Club to find another site for their biggest fundraiser. The challenge is finding a site with enough space to fit their large footprint.
We need the space, we need the room. We have a large event. We need a place that we can fit what we need here. We've got a lot of uses, a lot of needs. We've got to fit our family area. We've got to fit area for our main stage. We've got to fit places for people to come in and have fun with the ribbers, enjoy the ribs, enjoy the experience.
Even if Rib Fest moves out of Naperville permanently, they still plan on using the event to support the same causes in our community. They've raised about $16 million since moving to the current site.
We will continue the same efforts towards fundraising for the same support of the agencies in this vicinity that we currently allocate funds to towards the prevention of child abuse and domestic violence.
Though planning for 2019's Rib Fest is ongoing, after 30 Rib Fests at the same site, Grimes said there could be something to commemorate their last year in Knock Park.
As we move closer to the event dates this year, I think it's very likely that we'll be doing something to recognize the fact that this is the last year that we'll be at with this footprint. And transitioning, hopefully by the time we have our 2019 event, we will know exactly where our 2020 event will be.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
The Exchange Club also announced that 3 headliners are already booked for the 2019 Rib Fest. They'll be revealed in January. North Central College will be buying the property and buildings currently owned by Little Friends, enabling the nonprofit to move into a new facility in Warrenville. Little Friends began exploring the possibility of a move after realizing they needed more space to better serve their over 800 clients with developmental disabilities.
During the past couple of years, we've seen the growth of the support that we provide to the clients reach as many as 800 clients. And because of that, with our aspirations to try to grow, it became clear that space was going to be an issue for us as we moved forward.
Little Friends has found a new space in Warrenville, near the intersection of Mill Street and Deal Road, where they hope to open a new facility in 2020. With a new home in mind, they offered North Central College a chance to purchase back the 4-acre property. North Central took them up on the offer, though they're not sure what they'll be using it for just yet.
We haven't made any firm decisions at all yet as to what we will do with the property. We'll be working that in the years to come, but I would just emphasize that as we assess this opportunity, both myself and also the Board of Trustees, it's with a very long-term hat on. The college is over 150 years old, and this is something that I think can be helpful to us as we think about the next 150 years.
North Central actually owned the property back in 1945 when it was used for dorms. It was leased to Little Friends in 1975 before the Human Services Organization purchased it in 1989. The college and Little Friends will be holding a neighborhood meeting to learn more about the purchase agreement on January 14th in the Wentz Science Center. More apartments might be coming near Naperville's AMC Showplace. Naperville News 17's Blaine Irwin reports.
The Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved rezoning of 2 in-lots near the AMC movie theater on Route 59 from B2 commercial to R3A medium-density residential. The owner of the lots, First National Bank of Brookfield, requested the rezoning because the lots have been vacant and on sale for over 15 years.
The location of the lots essentially tells us everything that we need to know as to why these lots sat vacant. These internal lots, they lack visibility and frontage on both Route 59 and 95th Street. For commercial users, visibility and frontage is everything.
They believe residential zoning is better suited for the property and will encourage a developer to come in and pick it up. But a few residents were concerned about the change in zoning, including District 204 board member Mark Rising. Although he made clear he was not speaking on behalf of the school district, he said medium and high-density residential projects have the biggest impact on schools.
I don't know if you're aware, but the generation tables that school districts are seeing now that come out of medium and high-density residential areas are 3 to 4 times what the generation tables say that the city of Naperville has. And I'm sure the 2 school districts will be happy to share with you those numbers.
Any residential proposal would be a major deviation from the original planned development for the area, necessitating a return to both the Plan Commission and City Council for approval before building can begin.
I'm going to be extremely picky what goes in there, because it's going to have to go and feel like it was planned in originally to fit into this very high-end shopping entertainment destination.
Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Blaine Irwin.
Naperville Crossings already features 1 set of apartments. Tapestry Naperville Apartments has 298 units and was completed in 2015. They sit just north of the movie theater. Some seats are up this spring at both school districts 203 and 204. Naperville News 17's Christine Lena tells us who's running.
The races for seats on the school district boards have begun, as the deadline to file petitions was December 17th. On the District 204 side, current board member Mark Rising and Justin Karubis are seeking re-election, while Natasha Grover, who just joined the board in late October, is looking to keep her seat as well. They're challenged by Gautam G.B. Bhatia, the chairman of Aurora's Indian American Community Outreach Advisory Board, and Carol M. Jones, a Chicago Gifted Community Center board member. For District 203, Janet Yang Rohr and Christine Gerke are looking to keep their spots on the board for another term, while Terry Fielden announced he's not seeking re-election after completing his term this spring. That leaves a spot open for a newcomer. Those looking to take that seat and possibly others are business attorney Shar L. Dalton, Lewis University professor Joseph Kosminski, patent agent Rebecca Becky Rudolph, and businesswoman Cecilia Fox. The candidates will appear on the ballot in the order they filed their petitions. A lottery will be held at the DuPage County Election Commission's office on December 20th at 9 p.m. to determine ballot placement if petitions were filed simultaneously. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
Both District 203 and 204 board terms are for 4 years. Up next, 10 years is a reason to sing in celebration with Mattia Theater.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Sharing life over plates is Vi's motto. It's a simple philosophy, and it takes all the pressure off of you. For a starter, try their Neapolitan pizzas, baked to blistered perfection in a wood-fired oven. The mushroom carpaccio is worth a visit all by itself. But if you don't want to share one of the best dinners of your life, Vi's has you covered too, with entrees of wood-grilled fillets, paccheri bolognese, or roast wild salmon.
The District 203 School Board passed its 2018 tax levy. The levy has been extended to $247,300,000 with the intention to make abatements to it in the future.
It's all done with the understanding that we will be revisiting the extension in the spring, as well as a full abatement of the debt service levy in the spring as well, to ensure that we're paying that on behalf of the taxpayers Our board's commitment is to look at least $1 million abatement of the extension.
That abatement could save the average district homeowner of a $410,000 home about $133. These estimates were made based on the consumer price indexes of years past and the district's equalized assessed value of homes. Once the district has more information about state and future local funding and the impact of any funding changes, the board will be asked to make the final decision regarding the abatement at the March 4th, 2019 board meeting. This was the board's last meeting of 2018. The first meeting of 2019 will be held on January 7th. Mattia Theater recently celebrated its 10-year anniversary. Our own Casey Krajewski was there to take in the show.
It was a night to remember for Mattia Valley Theater alumni. The program celebrated its 10-year anniversary by taking a look back on some of its most memorable shows in a unique way. Former stars of the Mattia shows were invited to perform the same tunes they sang back when they first took the stage as high schoolers.
Many of these students that came tonight were here at the very beginning, and so for them to come back and see how this school has changed, how the legacy that they left has grown, has been really rewarding for them.
From its humble beginnings performing in the school's cafeteria, the theater program has come a long way, now performing in a state-of-the-art auditorium. Those in attendance heard from some musical classics like Bye Bye Birdie. And from some newer shows like Shrek the Musical.
As soon as they started singing, you could just remember those feelings from 10, 9, 8, 7 years ago, and it was a thrill. So each show is almost like our children here. We don't have favorites, but we just really were celebrating everyone's 10-year journey.
It was a special night for those in attendance and on stage.
I think what I loved about theater is that we always did something out of our comfort. We never did anything safe. We never do anything safe here. And to learn and to, do all of those things is amazing. It's great.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
Mattia Valley will continue their theater tradition by presenting Newsies for their spring musical this May. Normally, by this time of year, you can ice skate outdoors in Naperville, but the weather hasn't exactly been cooperative. Starting December 15th, the Naperville Park District operates 6 outdoor ice skating locations. But the hockey boards are built on the Riverwalk, and there's no ice in sight, thanks to the unseasonably warm weather.
We need approximately 5 days of sub-freezing temperature, both overnight and during the day, prior to us even attempting to flood.
After flooding the rinks, it takes 3 or 4 days to freeze completely. But there's hope yet for at least a month of outdoor ice.
Well, the weather looks favorable for us towards the end of the first week of January.
The Park District operates the ice rinks until February 15th. The second of 2 Hobson Oak beers is here, and our own Christine Lena has the news on what this oaky brew is all about.
Formerly the warm welcome into town, now the taste of a delicious drink to enjoy.
It is such a surprise that the Hobson Oak is now part of a bourbon barrel-aged imperial milk stout called Hobson, with a really dynamic, exciting artwork on it. And today's the release date here at Solemn Oath, partnering with Hop Butcher for the World and Miskatonic Brewing. And the crowd has been lining up for the first hour. They sold over 104 4-packs of the beer.
Hobson is the second of 2 beers created using wood from the 250-year-old Hobson Oak, Naperville's notable bur oak that was taken down in 2016 due to decay.
It's very rich. It's definitely a beer to kind of sit down and contemplate things with. But from the wood itself, we really found that the wood chips imported almost like a Scotch kind of smokiness to it, which we thought was really interesting. But it blended really well with the overall characteristic. It's not overpowering, but it's a really nice accent.
After being stored in the bourbon barrels for 10 months, the beer was canned at Solemn Oath and eventually released just a few days later to many happy customers.
It's pretty good. A little boozy, but that's not bad. Chocolatey.
$5 of each 4-pack sold goes to the Naperville Parks Foundation. It's a donation that can remind those indulging in the brew where it came from.
To do something that has such a local historical significance is just really cool. I mean, that tree stood for over 250 years, so the beer's not going to last forever, but it's a good opportunity for people to think about that local piece of history.
Hobson will be available to purchase at Solemn Oath and local grocery stores. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
The Naperville Parks Foundation will be distributing more Hobson Oak lumber and hosting more auctions in 2019. Coming up, a surprise for seniors as the Girl Scouts pay a visit.
Shop downtown Naperville this holiday season. With over 100 shops, from national favorites to one-of-a-kind boutiques, plus over 50 restaurants. And health and beauty options too. You'll find something for everyone on your shopping list. Don't forget about downtown Naperville gift cards. They make a perfect gift for use everywhere in downtown Naperville. Come shop, dine, and be merry in downtown Naperville.
We tell everybody's stories big and small. Everybody's story matters to us, and it comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, and that's what makes it so special. We don't always need a big story. Sometimes we want a story that makes us laugh. Sometimes we want a story that we relate to. Sometimes we want to cry with that story. But more importantly, we want to hear the stories about our people in the community.
This week, you may be among the millions of Americans traveling for the holidays. Our own Christine Lena gives us the forecast for travel.
Expect busy roads, airports, and stations this week, as almost a third of all Americans are traveling for the holidays.
Well, we're seeing record numbers this year. About 112 million people are traveling across the United States, and that's up about 4% from where we were this time last year. The economy is very strong. People feel secure in their job situation. They have more disposable income, and they're out there spending that money on travel.
In Illinois, the amount of travelers is 4.4% higher than in 2017. To be prepared on the roadways, AAA says pack your patience, leave for your destination before or after peak rush hours, and check your ride first.
We're expecting to come to the rescue for 960,000 people this holiday week alone. So as you're heading out, make sure that your battery is tested. If you've got a battery that's about 3 or 4 or 5 years old and it's going to be particularly cold out.
And if you're hitting the roads, it'll be a bargain compared to last year. Across Illinois, the average gallon of gas will run you $2.33, down from $2.66 last month and from $2.50 last year.
We always like to remind everybody to consider not drinking and driving, obviously, and to drive safely, prepare for delays, have some extra routes in mind, and let friends and family know what their travel routes are, just so they know when to be expected at their destination.
As for flyers, AAA estimates 6.7 million people will travel by air, the highest level in 15 years. And those traveling by train or bus will see an increase of travelers by about 4%, with a total of 3.7 million passengers. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
Another tip for those heading to the airport this week, look at the TSA website before heading out to check the rules about packages and gifts you may be bringing on board. The City of Naperville is helping downtown visitors have an easier time finding parking. The new Downtown Parking Viewer is an interactive online tool that can be used to see where parking spots are available in real time. The tool shows available spots in the Water Street, Van Buren, and Central parking garages, which combine for around 1,700 public spaces. You can also find historic parking trends if you're planning a trip downtown in the future. The tool was developed as part of a downtown special events analysis and is available on the city's website. The Downtown Parking Viewer can also be viewed on Android and iPhone mobile devices. Directions are also on the city's website. Demand for blood donations increases during the winter. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski stopped by the blood bank.
Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs a blood donation. But during the winter, that need becomes even more dire.
We need donations year-round, but we see a drop-off in donations around the holidays. We know people get busy, they're traveling, but we also know people get sick. So all of that kind of results in a drop-off in donations, but we also see an increase in the need for blood because of things like accidents, car accidents, or different weather-related accidents.
If you'd like to donate blood, make sure you stay hydrated and eat something, avoid caffeine, and make sure you're feeling well on the day of your donation. And whether it's whole blood or platelets, your donation will help someone in need. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
Naperville is home to 2 blood donation centers, Heartland Blood Center and Vitalant, formerly LifeSource Blood Bank. A knock on the door brought a Christmas surprise to the seniors at Martin Avenue Apartments. Naperville News 17's Blaine Irwin watched some Girl Scouts adopt a grandparent.
It was a knock that came to the door of every resident at Martin Avenue Apartments, as troops of Girl Scouts brought Christmas cheer and gifts as part of the Adopt a Grandparent event.
Merry Christmas! Thank you so much. You guys look cute. Thank you.
It's a relatively new Christmas tradition started by Naperville resident and NCTV 17 board member Wendy Gross, who puts the gift bags together with her friends in early December.
And it's funny, in the first years, us mature ladies went and did all the donations, all the gift baskets, and gave them out. And we decided really early on that we weren't that exciting as we knocked people's doors. We're just a bunch of middle-aged ladies knocking on people's doors. So I got together with a few friends who had Girl Scout troops and asked if their girls would be willing to do the delivery because they are way cuter.
The bags have all sorts of goodies: drawings, candy, warm socks, personal care products, and a stuffed animal for everyone. But it's up to the Girl Scouts to deliver them with a smile and a song.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It was fun, and I like going and singing to people.
I like singing the carols with my friends
because I like being kind and helping.
It's something the seniors of Martin Avenue can look forward to every holiday season.
It's a blessing to see those smiling faces, you know. It just brings joy to my heart.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Blaine Irwin.
This was the 4th year of the Adopt a Grandparent program. Up next, a big change is coming for Illinois high school football. We'll fill you in on how our local schools will be affected.
Experience the Promenade Bolingbrook.
Anchored by Macy's, Bass Pro Shop, H&M, and iPick Theater, the Promenade Bolingbrook has more than 65 shops and 12 restaurants. There's something for everyone, from fashion trends to gifts for the outdoor enthusiast. And don't forget about special events, including nightly shows of the Festival of Lights Holiday Tree. It's shopping, entertainment, easy and convenient parking, and great restaurants. This holiday season, check out the Promenade Bolingbrook.
A massive change was announced this week for the IHSA high school football landscape, affecting every school in the state. Beginning in 2021, conference play will be abolished in favor of a regional districting system. There will still be 8 football classes, and 64 schools from each class will be placed into 8 geographical district groups by the IHSA office. The top 4 finishers in each district will earn playoff spots, making up the 32-team playoff brackets. Traditionally, Neuqua Valley, Metea Valley, Waubonsie Valley, Naperville Central, and Naperville North have competed in Class 8A, while Bennett Academy has played in 7A, although the Red Wings did compete in the 8A as recently as 2014. The conferences, such as the DuPage Valley Conference, will remain intact for all the other IHSA sports. The new legislation is believed to be an effort to prevent the increasing number of conference shakeups that have taken place across the state in recent years, including Wheaton North, Wheaton South, Glenbard North, and Lake Park leaving the DVC last spring. The announcement of which schools will be in which class and district will not be released until after the 2020 football season. Naperville North boys soccer coach Jim Conrad received one of the country's highest coaching honors this weekend by being named the United Soccer Coaches High School Coach of the Year. Coach Comrade's Huskies just finished a perfect 26-0 undefeated season and won the IHSA 3A state championship for the third consecutive season. The final and most prestigious round of Division III football awards were recently announced. 3 North Central College players were named among the nation's top players. Freshman kicker Derek Judka was named a first-team All-American by the Associated Press and D3Football.com. Sophomore guard Shamar Clark was named third team by D3 Football and first team by the Associated Press. And junior quarterback Brock Rutter was named third team by D3 Football and second team by the AP. In other North Central College news, the men's track and cross country programs were recognized as the Division III Program of the Year after finishing as the national runner-up in outdoor track in the spring and winning the national championship for a third straight season in cross country last month. That's all for sports. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Stephanie. You can find highlights of hockey and boys and girls basketball holiday tournaments in the Naperville Sports Weekly section of nctv17.com. A local woman's viral video recently got the attention of a country music star. Kristen Giannini's singing bartending days may be behind her now, but they recently got brought back into the limelight when Carrie Underwood herself shared this video.
So I've always loved to sing, and I worked at a really high volume bar in Nashville, and it started out slow one day. So the karaoke host was like, "Hey, do you mind singing a few songs? Maybe we'll get some people in." I said, "Yeah, absolutely, of course." And I started singing. Well, people started coming in, and I was the only bartender there, and I didn't want to make them wait for drinks. So I just figured out how to do both at the same time, and it just became a thing. I did it every day at work.
The video was taken in 2014 when the Illinois native lived in Nashville. Having waves of popularity on the internet, the video recently just got a big boost from the country music star.
And I was like, holy cow, Carrie Underwood just tweeted about me. So I thought I was going to throw up, actually. I was so excited and just like, how did this happen? And Carrie Underwood called me beautiful and talented. I'll take that as a win for life. So it was quite crazy and really exciting and super cool. So.
Giannini now lives in Naperville with her family and says she can't wait to show the shout out to her sons when they're older to earn some cool points. And that's what's happening right here in your neighborhood, Naperville. We'll see you next time for our special year-end show. Until then, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, nctv17.com for daily updates.
This week's Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.